Is it harder to profile players at the poker table or to exploit them once you know their tendencies? I always assumed that the exploiting was the hard bit. But when I asked my coaching students and viewers this exact question, the majority said that they struggled with profiling opponents. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to profile every player at your table so that you know how to win money off them. And don't worry, if you do struggle with the actual exploit part, I will show you an easy solution for that too. Profiling players seems very overwhelming at first, but it's actually very simple. There are only 4 major player types, and every single player falls into one of these 4 categories. And by the way, if you'd like to follow along, you can download my free player profiling cheat sheet, where you can easily see the characteristics of each of the 4 player types and how to spot them. Click the link below or scan this QR code to download it. So let me show you how simple profiling a player actually is. Imagine you walk into a party. Within 10 minutes, you can usually already tell who's who. There's the guy talking to everyone, he laughs loudly, bounces from group to group, and then there's the guy standing in the corner, barely saying a word, maybe talking to 1 or 2 people all night. You don't need to analyze anything else, and you don't need hours of data. You just feel it. And poker is exactly the same. Some players are involved in everything, others barely show up. So step number 1 is simply to figure out if an opponent is loose or tight. Basically, if they're involved in every discussion at the party or if they're standing in the corner most of the time. We do that by asking one question. How many hands does this player voluntarily enter? We don't have to be very detailed with this though. If you sit at a table for about half an hour, you will usually get a pretty good indication if a player is involved in a lot of pots or hardly plays a hand. If you see a player play almost half of all hands or more, defend their blinds most of the time, or chase draws, that's a good indicator that they are loose. And as a bonus tip, if you see them being involved in most multi-way pots, that's also almost always a sign that they are loose. The signs of a tight player, on the other hand, are they rarely get involved in pots, you hardly ever see them limp, they often fold the blinds, and they also fold often when the action gets big. They usually hate putting money in without a big hand. These players also go through long stretches without playing a hand. The bonus tip here is if you barely notice a player at the table, then they are most likely on the tight side. The percentage of hands someone plays is the most reliable indicator, but there is another goldmine for information. Every time you see an opponent show down a hand, you get even more clues. Did they raise 9-5 suited from under the gun? That suggests they're a very loose player. Did they raise pocket aces on the button? Well, that doesn't really tell us anything because both loose and tight players would do that. So keep digging. The more of these showdowns you see, the clearer your understanding gets. Once you know if someone's tight or loose, move on to step number 2, because there's a second layer to this. Think of it like being in a car. One person is in the driver's seat and decides where the car goes, how fast it moves, when to stop and when to push forward. The other person is sitting in the passenger seat and isn't making any decisions. They're just going along for the ride. Poker is very similar. Some players are driving the action by betting, raising, putting pressure on others, and other players are just along for the ride. They're checking a lot, calling, and reacting to what everyone else does. In other words, some players are aggressive while others are passive. So our job is to figure out if a player is more on the passive or more on the aggressive side. Here the simple question we ask is, do they prefer betting and raising or calling and checking? Signs of an aggressive player are they raise pre-flop instead of limping, they continuation bet frequently even in multi-way pots, they often bet when checked to. In short, they're the ones putting pressure on you and are comfortable putting money in without the nuts. Signs of a passive player are They limp or call bets pre-flop rather than raise. They check and call post-flop, and they only really become aggressive when they have a big hand. The best way to think of them is that they're not really trying to win the pot by battling. They're trying to see what happens and hope to hit their hand at some point, and then they become aggressive in that one instance. This last bit is very important because you don't want to give someone the label of being aggressive after they check raised with a set. Passive players can get aggressive in certain spots, and aggressive players will sometimes slow down and be passive with hands that have showdown value. The important thing to note is whether a player shows more of the passive or more of the aggressive traits in a certain time frame. But note that this is rarely black and white. There will be nuances, but everyone has a general tendency, and that's what we have to establish. Also, note that so far we haven't made any judgment on a player's quality. Someone loose can be a good player or a bad player. Same for someone tied. But an easy way to not get confused between steps 1 and 2 is to remember the following. Loose versus tied is all about the hand selection and frequency. Aggressive versus passive is about the betting behavior. And even aggressiveness or passivity don't necessarily tell the story if someone is good or bad, but in step 3 we will be able to say with more confidence whether a player is good or not. To understand this step, which is the one where the profiling magic happens, it's easiest to think about this like two simple switches. The first switch is tight or loose. If the left switch is up, then the player is tight. If it is down, then the player is loose. And the switch on the right denotes if a player is passive or aggressive. If you combine the two, you will get 4 distinctive archetypes: tight passive, loose passive, tight aggressive, and loose aggressive. That's it. These are the only 4 types of players, and every single player at your table fits into one of these 4 categories. Let me show you what this actually looks like in a real game. Imagine you sit down at a new 1-2 game. Within the first 30 minutes, you look around the table. Seat 1 is playing almost every hand, limping, calling, chasing draws. That's a loose passive player. Seat 3 hasn't played a hand in 20 minutes, then suddenly raises big and takes it down. That's probably a tight aggressive player. Seat 5 is opening a lot of pots, betting frequently, putting people in tough spots. That's a loose aggressive player. And then there's seat 7, quiet, barely involved, mostly folding, occasionally calling, but not doing much else. That's a tight passive player. Within half an hour, you already have a rough map of the entire table. Also, each of these 4 types makes one big characteristic mistake. You can download my free cheat sheet where I'll explain these mistakes. But now I hear you say,
"But Andreas, what about all the other types like the calling station, the maniac, the OMC or old man coffee, and the pro?"
That is a great question. I'm glad you asked. So let's just look at them quickly. What are the tendencies of a calling station? They play too many hands, so they are loose. And they call too much, so they are passive. If we put that together, we get loose passive. The maniac, well, this player type plays a lot of hands and plays them very aggressively, so they're loose and aggressive. The old man coffee, their characteristic is that they hardly play a hand, so they're tight. And even though when they do have a big hand, they will be really aggressive with it, most of the time they are on the passive side. They will limp or call pre-flop to see if they can flop a monster, and will only be aggressive with really strong hands. So they're tight passive. And the pro, well, that's not an archetype, it just labels someone as being a very good player. Typically, the pro will either be tight aggressive or loose aggressive. You can do exactly the same exercise with them, and then you'll know how to profile them. And if you can't remember all of this, make sure to download my player profiling cheat sheet. As a bonus, you'll even get to see what each player type's key mistake is. Click the link below or scan this QR code. And now you know how to label every player at the table, but that's only half the job. In this next video here, I'll show you exactly how to take their money once you have profiled them.